Hello, I'm Sean Nittner, and welcome to this week's discussion of the Fate Roll20 Toolkit bundle. We've made lots of toolkits for Fate before, the Accessibility Toolkit, the Adversary Toolkit. Now we've got one just for Fate. Just for Roll20. In this bundle, you'll find the deck of Fate, the Roll20 Toolkit itself, which is an add-on, and an art pack. A lot more details here in the description, but I'm going to go into showing them all to you. So, let's say you picked up the bundle, you want to use it, how's it going to work? We hop over to our main home screen. You jump into any game that you have. Now, these tools are all meant for Fate, but they could be used in any other game you want. I'll show you what they're like, and you can see how a lot of these could be useful. In any game that you have existing, you go to Game Add-ons, and there'll be a list of all the add-ons that you've purchased. You'll choose the Fate Roll20 Toolkit, and you'll add that to the game. As soon as that's added, it's thinking a bit there for a second. Once it's added, you'll launch the game and it's going to add all of its components in automatically. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you what those are. When we first pull up the game, we will see the original screen that we're expecting. In this case, it's an Atomic Robo game. So voila, there is the start screen. But click on the page toolbar, you can see 3 new pages. And I'm going to describe those each briefly. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so you can see everything. The first page has a bunch of rollable tables on it. There are check marks, there are clocks, there are fate dice, there are arrows which will turn every direction. There are the fate actions: attack, defend, overcome, and create advantage. But there's more. This background is also a rollable table. So if you choose the map and backgrounds layer and then you right click on it, go to multi-side and say choose side, I recommend expanding a little bit so you can see what's going on. You'll notice that we have all of these different Fate backdrops. Each of them include this Fate bookmark here that has the basic rules of the game, the 4 actions, and how aspects are work, our fiction first rule, how you roll the dice, all that jazz. That's part of every single one of these backdrops. And you can choose the one that's suited for your game. But if you say, well, wait, I'd love to use that template, but I have my own art that I want to use, no problem. Just go all the way to this first option, and we have a blank one that's transparent. You can put your own art behind it. So when we pick the game that we like, we say choose, voila, there we go. We've got a new background that we can use in any of our games. The same is true of all of these tokens. So if you right click on the clock, multi-sided choose, and we can choose any facing of the clock. We can have the fate die on any facing, the arrow in any direction. Arrows we'll go into in just a second. These tokens are just aspect tokens that you can copy paste, drop into your game so that when you need to write a situational aspect, you've got a place to do it. The next part of it are these character tents. We have made 4 character tents for you, 2 for Fate Condensed and Core, and 2 for Accelerated. The big difference is just that the ones on the bottom have high concept, trouble, and other aspects detailed. The ones on the top are empty for you to fill up, and the big difference is skills for Fate Condensed and Core versus approaches for Fate Accelerated. So you can take whichever of these is most useful to you, and we've got one example here of a character that's filled out. The really cool part about having these character tents is that if you have a page that has everybody's character tent on them, then not only does the GM have an ability to sort of look at all the characters' aspects, know what's going on with them, know what their skills are, but so do the other players. The other players can see all the high-level details about your character without having to dig through character sheets. You can just have all this on that open playmat. And we've got a little space in the corner for you to put your character token as well. And that's sized just to fit character tokens at default sizes. So you can grab a couple of these, put all your characters in it. And speaking of your characters, the Phase Trio is a part of Fate Core Condensed and Accelerated games where we interweave the characters' backstories to each other. And we do that by starting with one character's past adventure, and then we add other characters to that adventure and figure out ways in which they help the protagonist or which they complicated their lives. And out of doing that, we're going to make some aspects about our characters related to each other. And so the Phase Trio page is meant for you to drop all of your characters up to 6. There's little spots for them to drop, and it's sized just right so that standard tokens will snap right in. So it should all just click together very nicely. And then you grab copies of these copies of this little aspect lozenge token, grab some of the arrows pointed in the right direction, and you can start making the connections between your characters. And then you just use the Roll20 text tool to type in the particular aspects that you have as your characters are interlinked with one another. These arrows are still those rollable tables, so you can change directions with them. So all 8 of those can be in any direction you need them to be. You can drag them around and make copies as you like. But should you accidentally delete one of these, or want to pull them up, or just want to drop them right into another page that you have, because this is an add-on, it's meant for other games, that is no problem. You can go to the Collections tab, and you'll see all the rollable tables right there. So if you click on Token on the Fate dice, that'll just add on the die. If you click Token on the check and X mark, that'll put that in there. You can see this check can turn into an X or to a null value, and you can just drop as many of those as you need in whatever tab you have. So these tables are always there. As soon as you add the add-on, you're going to have them every time you need them. You can just drop them into any page you want them in. And similarly, you see over here we have these decks, and these are decks of fate points. They're infinite. You can draw as many as you want, and the idea is when you're allocating out fate points to the characters, or when they're invoking or attacking them, they can just grab them. So you can grab these. Let's see, I grab these fate points, drag them out, and then when they're done, you just hit delete, throw them in the trash, and they're spent. And we have a ton of different fate point decks, so you can find the one that fits your game the best. Right now we have the starry and the red to blue swirl. We're going to hide both of those. I can pull out the solid blue fate points. I can pull out the eldritch fate points, and then we have the ones that are fitting to our particular game. You use the decks that you like, that are best for you. So there is a bunch of tools all crammed in to these couple pages and this collection tab. When you get out the bundle, as soon as you put the add-on into your game, it's going to put all those in there. Should you ever want any of the source content, we also have that in the art pack, which comes with the bundle too. If you go to your art library and you go to your marketplace purchases, and go to the Fate Roll20 Toolkit, you're going to see all of those things: the arrows, the fate actions, the backdrops, the character tents, the relationship map. All of those things are ready for you to grab and drag into any game of your choosing. So we hope that takes all of your Fate games or other games where these tools would be useful up to the next level, and makes them look a little more sharp, a little more refined, and gives you places to put your aspects and everything else, and just makes the game that much smoother, easier, and fun to run. Hope you enjoy.